So let's talk about fear. And I'm going to talk about it from a masculine perspective. So, guys, I'm talking to you, the men out there. Ladies, I'm talking to you too. If you know a guy out there that needs to hear this, send it over to him. And it's good for you to listen to this as well, because there's a lot of women out there that may not understand this from a guy's perspective. I mentioned over the last several months that, I've been in the ER like 8 times. 4 of those times were actually thinking that I was having a heart attack. That's some scary shit, let me tell you. The other times, not that they weren't scary, they were scary as hell. But, yeah, I mean, every time was scary. What am I saying, right? So what I'm talking about here is fear. One of the things that I had to figure out over the last few months or more is that I had a big fear of the unknown, a big fear of death. And I didn't really know where it was coming from. Back in November, my cat passed away, and we had to put him to sleep. Seeing him take his last breath and then just leaving this world did something to me. It flipped a switch. And I know for those of you out there who have experienced something to that degree with a family member, a pet, whatever it is, you understand what I'm talking about. It does something to you. Now, with that being said, over the next few months, it started causing a real panic in me, real anxiety. And the next day after we put him to sleep, I picked up a book. I was reminded of it today. That's why I'm doing this video, called The Tibetan Book of the Living and the Dead. And the book is really all about, in that part of the world, they want to learn how to die better, ultimately so that they can live better, right? So they talk about their experience in terms of like, what would it be like to die? Let's talk about it. Let's put it out there so that when it comes, we're not ill-prepared. We're not ill-equipped to deal with it. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we are. We're super ill-equipped and ill-prepared to deal with death, grief, anything to that degree. And it sucks because when it happens, because it's going to, because there are 2 surefire things that are going to happen in this life, and they're connected by a thread, an invisible thread. Straight line is you'll be born and you will die. And we talk about birth. Oh man, we're so joyous around it, right? We celebrate the shit out of it. And for the majority of us, we do not celebrate death. It is, wow. And for me, I've always believed that there's a transition. There's more out there, right? But to believe it and then to embody it are 2 different things. Guys, this isn't something we talk about, right? We don't talk about our feelings. We don't put it out there. We don't tell anybody how we're feeling in terms of like, oh, someone has passed away, this happened. We shove that grief deep down inside and we hold on to it like a nightmare living within us. And it just keeps replaying over and over and over again. And for most men, they don't share their experience. They don't share their true feelings on it. They don't share anything that it's making them feel. And that destroys us little by little by little by little. Over the last few months, with the ER visits that I've been in, scary as shit. They caused massive amounts of fear in me. And I guess that moment last year created that fear to come up and show itself, and for me to get good with it. Now, what do you mean by getting good with it? Well, I had to surrender to the fact that I am not in control of that day. I'm in control of the things that I can control. And even then, I believe in that higher power to allow my life to unfold the way it needs to. When you do that, you completely surrender to the powers that be, and you allow life to just be and happen. And not in a way that you're like, oh, floating through life. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? This is way more than that. This is really about allowing your life to be more than what it has been. It took me a good couple of weeks to get good with surrendering, because somebody said, you really need to surrender to the fact that, this fear that's come up for you is what's killing you most. Fear of the unknown, fear of death, fear of leaving without accomplishing much, quote unquote, you know what I mean, in my life? Like I'm over the age of 50. What have I done with my life? What am I leaving behind? Have I done enough for my son? I mean, those thoughts, they hit you hard. And I wasn't good with any of it. So I had to get really, really good and say, okay, well then I can't sit in this space of worrying about when that day comes. I need to keep moving until the day comes and just know that when it does, that was what was meant. I had to surrender, let go of control, let go of trying to control the narrative of my life, and know that there was something bigger at play. I spent a ton of time trying to get through that process. And I can tell you right now, it's not easy, but I had to step forward into it. And that's what I'm asking you guys to do out there, is to step forward into your best self, step forward into your truest self, your most authentic self. Step into that version that you were meant to be. Stop hiding behind whatever it is the fuck you're hiding behind. Because that's what I did for a long time. And every stage of my life where I had to go into a healing stage, and this was one of them, one of the darkest night, I think the darkest night of the soul that I've ever experienced, it required me to see a side of myself that I had dealt with. Because I've dealt with fear, dealt with guilt and shame, but this was at a different depth. This was at like the core depth of like, hey dude, you got to do something here. You got to really dig deep and find that thing within inside you that's holding you back from being that most authentic version, being your best self, being that person that the people around you need you to be. So I'm just asking you to do the same thing as men. Guys, we have a space for that, and it's at Danvers Wellness Center, and it's the Wild Man Brotherhood, and it's also at Circles of Wisdom, Wild Man Brotherhood. They happen once a month. I'll put the link to the Wild Man, so you can join, come check it out. First sessions is always free, so that you can check it out, make sure it's a good fit for you. And we also make sure that it's a good fit for our group, because we take pride in making sure that we keep our group healthy and intact and safe. And that's extremely important. But I know for me that space helped me through some really, really dark and difficult times. Maybe you're dealing with something out there. The fear, the guilt, the shame, because a lot of men, this is what we deal with, right? And we don't want to appear weak. We don't want to appear less than. We want to appear strong to the people around us. And ladies, when I said earlier, send this to a man, understand that your man, most men, I'm going to tell you this right now, most men are sensitive. And if you haven't seen their sensitive side, it's because they're afraid to show you, because they're afraid that you're going to look at them as less than, that you're going to think of them as weak. I ask you to ponder that, to really think about that part. We are not weak. We're strong as hell when we can be vulnerable as hell. So step forward into that best version of yourself. I had no choice. Don't wait until it's too late.